It's important that they have a say, and that is what we do right here, bringing it to your doorstep, making you, be a part of it, and get to talk about it, and also prefer solutions to some of the issues that are going on in the country of ours, Nigeria. I am still the biggest of them all, the big man on your radio, Raymond Okolo, and I have with me right here, Dorcas Oluwafolakemi Yemiton.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ray. Good morning to our listeners once again. It is another beautiful time to talk about our dear country, things that are happening around us in the society, in the country, even in the world at large. We get to talk about all of this on this program. So I must say you are all welcome to today's edition of the program.
Today we have someone, he's been right here before. He was here on the day of the inauguration. Yes, we got to speak to him, and he gave us his own take as well, what to expect from the new administration, and what to just put aside for the time being and all of that. He was here, and we enjoyed the show so good that we had to bring him back again today. And I'm talking about no other than Mr. Uche Anibwe.
Good morning.
I hope you're good.
How's the weather? It's been a nice weather all the way through the night till morning.
Today we are going to be talking about what our president has actually said to Nigerians right about now. We know that it has not been easy. He's been in office for a month and some days, and Nigerians, and I don't want to say Nigerians are not happy, but Nigerians are a bit confused at this moment, a bit perplexed. That may be the best word, or the good word to use at this moment. Not really feeling as if it is bad, but at the same time not feeling as if things are all rosy at the moment. A bit confused in some ways, and it has not helped with some of the policies that he's brought to the table. Things have not really been that good since that inauguration. We were all here during the inauguration. We saw what he said, and some of those things have had ripple effects in the society, on the economy as well. And so Nigerians are asking, we want to see you get into action. We want to see you make some moves. We want to see you make some positive moves that will bring some positive changes to the society. Let's get to see who your ministers will be. Let's get to see people that you're going to be working with and all of that. But he's come out to say that Nigerians should be patient, that he is taking baby steps. And so that has left a lot of Nigerians wondering if this is baby steps. The baby steps have put us in, this, kerfuffle that we are in at this moment, this conundrum that we are in at this moment, that we cannot really, even feed anymore. And all of these issues are going on here and there. Then if you start taking the major steps, how would it look like? So we want to look at all of that, look at what he means by what he said, that he's taking baby steps, and Nigeria should be patient with him. Let's look at all of that, and then get to hear from the fans as well to what they think he should be doing at this moment. And then with the fact that from some of the appointments that he has made, it seems as if that he's trying to bring back some people who have already been in position of power, rather than bringing in some new people, like he said when he was making his promises to Nigeria, that his government was going to be all inclusive. Yeah. But we're not seeing new people coming in. If it's going to be all inclusive, it means that it's going to be a selection of old and the new. But it seems as if we are seeing just some of the old people being recycled, and now we are hearing rumors as well too that certain people might be getting ministerial positions as well too. So all of these things and more we are going to be discussing this morning. And so let's quickly get to hear from Dorcas.
I must say the president actually visited my state last week Thursday, and that's where the statement come from. And I must say that I must bring back what the president actually said, and that's why we are here to discuss it this morning. So the president actually said, be patient, I'm taking baby steps. So President Bola Tinubu on Thursday appealed to Nigerians to be patient as he works assiduously to find solutions to many challenges facing the country. Tinubu said he is taking baby steps in his drive to fix the country, inviting all to join him in the baby steps to retooling Nigeria. The president spoke at the Palace of Alake of Egbaland, Oba Didotun Gbadebo, during a private visit to the paramount and other traditional rulers in Ogun Central in appreciation of their support during the build-up of the February 25th presidential election he won. At the palace with Oba Adedotun, he welcomed Tinubu and his entourage were former Governor Aremo Segun Oshoba, former Governor Ibikunle Amosun, Senator Shuaib Salisu, Honorable Olumide Oshoba, Honorable Tunji Akinosi, and the Olota of Ota, Oba Adeyemi Obalanlege, former Rights Member Adekunle Adeyemi, members of Egba Traditional Council of Chiefs, among others. So Tinubu assured he remained determined to deliver on all campaign promises and called for prayers after achieving his Emilokon prayer point. So let's go through these baby steps of faith. I am taking baby steps as the president. Let's not be in a hurry. Be ready for this. Maintain an open door policy. Let the freedom flow. Let the confidence return. This country is the only country we have and have been a refugee, and I know what it means to be a refugee. So having achieved the prayer point of Emilokon, what I ask for is prayer for this country. I am determined to help our country to steer the ship of the nation and to deliver on all promises that were made. So he said, let's be united, no distractions. We will arrive at a positive destination in the country. It's all in our hands to make history, and I will do that. By the grace of God, we shall reap the fruit of our labor. Nigeria will see positive changes. So these are the words coming out from our president to Nigerians, saying that we need to be patient enough, that he is taking baby steps. But I remember before the election, everyone was shouting and clamoring for urgent action in the country, that the state of the country right about now needs an urgent action. It demands urgent action, actually. And coming out to say that you are taking a baby step, and all of the steps you have taken, do we say that all of these things are also baby steps? Talking about the student loan on my part, you know, he actually approved a student loan bill, and which so many people are coming against it, that Nigeria is not right for it. And what actually come after the student loan, if you are unable to pay the loan, they said that student will actually pay 500,000 naira or go to 2 years imprisonment. And as the case may be, you might do the two. And we are looking towards this. We know the country we are after 4 years of university, 5 years, 7 years, as the case may be, and you go for your youth service. How much are you collecting? Let's say 33,000 naira. We know how the things are so cost in the country. By the time that month, your 33k don't finish already. So where do you start saving up to pay up this loan that you have actually collected? Okay, apart from that, let's say your youth service finished, what's the assurance that you get to be employed immediately after your youth service? And talking about this, the something that actually comes after it, you pay 500,000 naira or you go to 2 years imprisonment. How will you go about paying up these bills that you've collected, this loan that you've actually collected from the federal government? So I must say that this one, I will agree truly that is a baby step, because it is not a step that is actually working well for people. Because if we say that as a student, I'm not doing anything, how do I pay it back? So I would like our guests to actually talk more on even the student loan. How sure are we that this thing is going to be good for Nigerian students, especially for students? We know the country we are, unemployment rate. In fact, before you finish your school, we are clamoring. There are even the one telling students now that you should go get a skill. After spending lots of money in school, you will still come out to tell me that, okay, go and learn a skill. We know that it is a good one, actually, because it makes you independent. You stay on your own, and everything works well for you. But still yet, should we now say that compulsorily all students must have a skill, even after going to school? So all of this, I want us to actually talk about it. We have so many things steps he has taken, actually. Let's talk about the subsidy removal too.
We are going to be hearing from our own guest right here. Let's get to hear what he has to say about all of these things. What do you think about what the president has said, that he's taking baby steps? Nigerians should be patient with him, and he's not in a rush. He believes that he wants to do all these things to see to it that Nigeria gets back to the level where we can actually be all proud of it. But for now, he's taking baby steps. Do you think that all the things he's done leading to this can actually be classified as just a baby step?
For me, that word baby step is more like a semantics. It's just English word. You can better say he's trying to take it step after step, gradually. So when you look at most of the statements and the policies so far made by the president so far since May 29th, during his inauguration, we were here in the studio dissecting the issues and some of the points made by the president. One of the high points during that inauguration was the emphatic statement from the president that the fuel subsidy removal is gone. So we started having a ripple effect in the economy. Prices of goods and services started skyrocketing in the country. Presently, most Nigerians find it very difficult going to work, feeding 2 times or 3 times in a day.
Yeah.
So this has economic impact. That's a very good decision, but the timing is not good.
Okay.
It should have given some months, but according to the statements they made, the fuel subsidy ended in May. So from June to December going forward, no more subsidy payment by the federal government. And also we have heard in the past that during budget defense each year in the National Assembly, there are some persons or some ministries or bodies that collect humongous amounts that you don't see where those monies going to, and there are no tangible things to pinpoint where such monies are judiciously used. So you find that freighting of government money, like we see in the past, is gone. So you have to work for your money. When you come to the students' loan issue, that's a very good government policy. For me, before you take up a loan, you should know the do's and don'ts. I should commend those who put up those loans for students, because as the country is structured and the poverty that is pervading the land, you hardly see people who go to secondary school and still find themselves into the higher institution. So for me, this is a very good step. An average Nigerian who is passionate about his or her education can make available him or herself for this loan. But I also appeal that in our school curriculum, educational curriculum, we should also factor in the skill acquisition, just like the National Youth Service Corps scheme. Okay. Let our citizens, our students, those undergoing the National Youth Service Corps, in that 1 year, compulsory 1 year service, you should get to learn a skill so that you will be self-independent. This mindset of having, when you finish school, you get to search for work or look for a white-collar job, I think, to my own best understanding, I think such thinking should start fading away. We should concentrate more on building more entrepreneurs, more creators. Just like we're in the studio, we're sitting comfortably. We have engineers, we have people who are into graphics, who can design. So you can learn as a student. Some of this, it doesn't take much as a student. While you are at school, Mondays to Fridays, you can go to your lectures, Saturdays or Sundays, or when your legs busy, you can go into cyber cafe, register for yourself and learn, or you can through your smartphone, you can learn some of these things. I know some persons who are graduates, especially in this town, who are good in making shoes. Some of the shoes I wear are locally made here, and you see people who are into this chef business. Some are also doing some work to, complement themselves while in school, and also when they are off school. But the issue of getting persons who applied for the student loan to pay a fine of 500,000 if they default. That issue is where I find it more. How will I put it? It's not palatable, because most students already in the school system don't have a white collar job or skill acquisition they are into. So when they get out into the system, telling them to pay up within some stipulated time, it's like magic of the century, because they can't see where to get such funds. So I see that the government should also, some state governments should also begin to give bursary fees to their students. Like I know in Delta State, they do give bursary to some of their students. Yes, that should also encourage some persons. And I should also advocate that the cost of education should be, like school payment of tuition fees, should be drastically reduced.
All right.
Because this tends to hype. It tends to make the students very repulsive. They see that the system is not welcoming to them. When you pay 300,000, 400,000 in a year academic session, where did they get such some money? Some of them don't see 30,000 naira as a whole in a month.
We want to take a look at some of the things that he did initially when he got into that position, taking away the CBN governor and having him investigated the same way he did with the EFCC chairman as well too. And then the fact that even Nuhu Ribadu, who was once in that position, is now back advising on some security issues as
National
well.
Security Advisor.
Exactly. So all of these things. What do you think about that? At this point in time, the moves made by the president against the CBN governor and then the EFCC boss as well. Do you think they were quite necessary at that point in time?
The president, in his own best decision, tried to rejig the economy. There are issues about financial corruption leveled against the XY CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. We could recall that the Naira redesign caused a lot of panic. So many persons died because of scarcity of money. When you go to the hospital to run a test, they say if you don't pay in cash, nothing for you. Before you get to run out and see money, if you can see, maybe probably you have lost the patient. So many persons couldn't access cash then. For the first time in this country, in many years, we have to see situations where we started selling the Naira openly. This is a great violation of our laws as a country. And the CBN governor never cared. He was stating that this is for good. That he was talking about cashless limits, how much you are going to withdraw, how much you are going to spend. These are good, but the implications when you are trying to drive away investors and businessmen. There are businessmen who do businesses close to 3 million, 5 million in a day. Now you now limit cashless withdrawals or transfers to 100,000. How do you tend to make such businesses grow or stabilize in such economy? So, in the best interest of Mr. President, Asuwaju Bola Tinubu, he called for him to step down. He stepped down, and the security agencies are top of the issues. Though we are having some issues that over the media that he's having health issues, and like some people will say, whenever we have such issues, people fetch ill health.
Actually, though, once you are arrested,
Because in your comfort zone, you're losing your comfort zone. Yes, yeah.
Once you're arrested in Nigeria, you have health issues. Nigerians on a daily basis have health issues. There are people that have high BP on a daily basis. People that have
So many people died because of high BP because of that miscalculation of the CBN government, and the new naira and old notes issue has been keep on pending till December 31st, 2023.
They talk about running cashless policy, which is good because if you go to other countries, I think it helps with their economy as well too, because you cannot really be seen in America right about now going to the bank to withdraw $10,000. You must, even if you're going to withdraw it to be 9,000 something. If you withdraw 10,000, it is flagged, and then they get to look into you. What are you doing with that amount of cash? Exactly. What are you doing with that amount of cash in your hand? So I think it was a good idea, but it was, like you mentioned, miscalculated. It was not done at the right time in the right way, and that was the problem. And so it means that right about now that the withdrawals has been increased to 200k. It means that we are not seeing a government that is having that continuation plan as to what they were telling us that yes, the new government will continue from where we stopped. It seems that this government has a mind of its own. What you did was your own, is in your own time, your own pocket. Now we are coming through with our own plans, and so we are not continuing from where you stopped. That is basically what they're just letting us know.
He verbally opposed the policies of Mefele, and he said, though we had some state governors, then the likes of El Rufai sticking that the old naira notes to be still in use then in their states. So jacking up the withdrawal limits is a good thing, because we saw in the past some persons couldn't pay hospital bills, their students their school fees for their children. Before some universities and some tertiary institutions, like I know some persons pay 450, 500. How do you get to do such kind of thing? So generally we had a chaos in the system. So now we are seeing things stabilizing, and also the skyrocketing of the dollar in the mainstream market was not steady, because our economy is kind of dollarized. We virtually run everything on dollar, because most multinationals and some government ministries run on dollar. We also saw during the election rallying and campaigns and party congresses and convention, movement of cash, and dollar was involved.
Now, who's to blame for such thing happening? Because we have seen, I think, is it the Kenyan government recently that came out to say that if you're going to do business, with international business with different countries, you must do it with their own local currency. They want to see a way to ship out the dollar from Africa, and that is what we see, I think, in Kenya and one other a country in Africa. That's what they are saying, that if you're going to come in and do business there, you must do it in their own local currency. But Nigeria here, just like you mentioned, we keep working with dollar. We keep feeling that we have to do business in dollar, and that is not the way to actually grow our own economy. So we need to realize that the more we start spending our naira, the more we start promoting our naira, promoting the use of naira. Even when you have foreign countries are coming in to do business, it must be done in naira. That is the only way we can actually boost the power of the naira right about now.
During the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo, the late legal icon Gani Fawemi, he took the federal government to court for paying two ministers under the government of Olusegun Obasanjo, the ex-wife minister, our dear sister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who was drafted from the World Bank, and the former foreign affairs minister. They were being paid in dollars. So he questioned why a Nigerian should be paid in dollars. That as a government, you should pay anybody within your employ in our local currency, to promote our economy and promote our currency. You see, that's why most times we don't have naira having value, and when you go to party, you see people devaluing the naira, matching on the, but we tend to do more honor to the dollar. Most of these multinational companies, they run and do their businesses in dollar. Most of them don't do their businesses in our local currency.
Before we start even saying that this is what we want to say, at least 100 days in office, actually, but still yet, coming out to tell us that he's taking a baby step with all of these things we have discussed, shows that he's actually knowing what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, actually. So I think even within 30 days, he has took some steps already. So I think we should start even talking about it now. Just like he said, 30 days is not enough to judge his administration. But I think it's even enough with all the steps he has taken, actually.
When we are doing the intro, you talked about the president visiting the Elaka of Baland, and he came on appreciation notes, having supported him for the general elections and the primary, the convention of the APC. He was appreciative in his tone. It was Emeloko. In my own perception, for you to have said it's your turn, Emeloko in Yoruba language, it means that's your turn. You have prepared yourself fully, knowing well what you have for the people.
Okay.
As a president, you should have rolled out your plans and started seeing it. However, just like the National Assembly have made it mandatory that the president must submit and appoint ministers with portfolios 2 months after inauguration, that's from May 29th. We're looking at for the ministers list to know how the government
is planning to move forward.
Yes, in the next 4 years.